What? A what if video before a season ends? Yes, well, while preparing and writing out the what if videos that I will do for All-Star 7, I noticed something very interesting in my interpretation of the season had there been eliminations. Now, there are a lot of obstacles we have to get over before we actually start to developing the season, so I won't keep you too long for the intro. However, I want to say that it seems like the production ordering 12 episodes was because they were expecting a larger cast. The thing is, 12 episodes allows for around 10 eliminations, so they could have had up to 14 or 15 queens on the season. Obviously, they were never going to invite James, aka Tyra, or Sharon, but we have heard that they never even asked Alaska, Bob, or Violet to be on the season. Excluding the most recent winners in Simone and Kylie, they could have had a cast of 15 queens. If one queen per episode goes home, then in the 12th episode they would have had a top 4 and could have done a lip sync for the crown. I guess Drag Race expected everyone to reply affirmatively to being on the season, so maybe the 8 queen cast was not planned. But who knows? That's just my assumption. Before we get into the meat of the video, I just want to give a shout out to my supporters on Patreon who've been very supportive recently. Sadly, for this video, I cannot include comments from Patreon at the end because I am rushing to make this. It's literally Tuesday night right now, and on Thursday, when this goes out, I won't be able to edit them into the video just for personal reasons. If you enjoy what I do here, you can of course support me on Patreon, or you can like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. So, what are the obstacles that we have to overcome or whatever before we start developing the season? Well, firstly, how many episodes do we have? What is the layout of the challenges? Well, let's go over the challenges of the original All-Star 7. Excluding the lip sync for the crown, we have record a verse and perform it challenge in episodes 1 and 6. Snatch Game in episode 2, a design challenge in episodes 3, which was also a ball, and episode 7, an improv challenge, episode 4, a comedy monologue challenge, episodes 5 and 10, but this is a bit of a broad explanation of these two challenges, however, it has to be done this way. An acting challenge in episode 8, a TikTok challenge, that's kind of an infomercial challenge, in episode 9, a variety show in episode 11. So let's keep all 8 of these categories, but the acting challenge, as I think improving is a much harder challenge than just acting something where you don't really have to act, you just have to be campy. This is how I would lay out the season. Episode 1, talent show, not a variety show, a talent show. Drag Race doesn't want to change it back to a talent show because they know less and less queens have talents that aren't just doing drag and lip syncing. But calling it a variety show after what we witnessed is criminal. There was no variety there. For the sake of the stakes being higher, I'm calling it a talent show. Episode 2, Snatch Game. Episode 3, Ball, just like originally. Episode 4, the TikTok challenge, because we gotta do that now, I guess. Episode 7, the improv challenge, with a twist. Episode 6, the roast. And episode 7, write, record, and perform a verse to a Rue song. We're sticking to tradition and making it a more or less inconsequential challenge. The second obstacle we have to fuck up, guys, I don't know, is what is the format of this season? Well, unlucky for us, we have a couple to choose from. We can't do the All-Stars 5 and All-Star 6 format because it would be ludicrous to have these winners go up against any of the queens they previously beat. Though the voting format does titillate me. What about the All-Stars 2 to 4 format? We could do that, but the whole point of nobody getting eliminated and no negative critiques being shown on this season is trying to fluff up these queens' clouts and make them seem as likable and as talented as possible. And you can't really make them likable if they're going to be eliminating each other. The fans will always go after somebody who eliminated their fave. And that's why I chose to go with the original format of one winner, a bottom 2, and symmetrical placements in between. This would be the point system in place, and guys, this is just my way of doing this what if video. You are very open to disagreeing with it. Alright, let's begin. Episode 1 is the talent show episode. Now, most of the placements for this episode will be more or less copied from the original placements, but if there ever needs to be a change, I'll explain it. Jinkx wins this episode's mini challenge, the reading challenge. The top 4 will give us the winner, the save 4 will give us the bottom 2. The winner of this first episode is Monét Exchange. Monét showed the most impressive talent out of all of the queens, and now she gets redemption for her All-Stars 4 episode 1 performance. Raja and Shea are high. Raja did something stunning and heartfelt. Shea diddled around the stage, and the judges said that her diddling was the best, which is why she's high, and Yvie safe. Alongside Yvie, Jinkx is safe, because out of the safe queens, let's be real, she's the only one that showed the talent. I mean, the Viv has a great voice, but didn't she lip sync? Like, why? And that's why she's low. In the bottom 2, thus, we have Jaida Legend Hall and Trinity the Tuck. The lip sync songs for all of the episodes will be the ones that appeared in the episode when the challenge originally happened. Thus, now here we have Jaida and Trinity lip syncing to Kylie's Supernova. For the sake of the grand story that I want to tell with this What If season, and with the fact that we have seen her not making the best decisions in her lip syncs this season, Trinity, I think, would lose this one and be sent home. No more hearing about twinners every episode. Thank God. Episode 2 starts with Monét being very happy that she won, but genuinely sad that Trinity had gone home. However, she doesn't have much time to sulk because it's time for a snatch game. I would keep the doing 2 character snatch game. It was very fun. Jaida is going into this snatch game thinking that she needs to impress, as does Yvie. Jinkx, Raja, and Vivienne have a lot of pressure on them to do well. The snatch game goes the same as it originally does, so our winner is, of course, Jinkx. The high queens are Monét and Raja. Now, since we're at a top 7, we can have only one safe queen here. Let's be real. Yvie and Shea were the worst out of the 8, so they're the clear bottom 2. Jaida actually had a pretty good snatch game. The second one had good jokes, the first one was good too. Her prince made me laugh out loud for all of the wrong and right reasons. While on the other hand, the Vivienne was funny, but just kinda forgettable. That's why Jaida is safe and the Viv low. Shea and Yvie would lip sync to Rumor Has It by Adele. Now, I think Shea could do well to this song, but I don't know that she would be able to beat Yvie in a lip sync. Yvie is way more emotive and dynamic, both qualities that the song needs, but she could also maybe go overboard with the theatrics, so who knows. In reality, Drag Race and its producers would absolutely let Shea stay here. I know that. Please don't write that in the comments. But for the sake of the story that I'm showing here, we need to say goodbye to Shea. Episode 3 is the ball. The queens have to present 2 looks they brought from home and then one that they made in the workroom. I need to remind you all that Trinity isn't here now, so some queens aren't going to get help from her. Just keep that in mind. Monét points out that she's now the only All-Star winner still in the season, and she's a little worried that she might go home this episode. In fact, her first time ever in the bottom 2 was in a ball on season 10. Jinkx is of course shitting bricks because of this challenge, and her winning the Hangman mini challenge does not lift her spirits. Obviously, there's this whole thing with the wheel and who gets what, but honestly, I don't think that it matters. Raja wants to win this week. She had like 10 design challenges on her original season, so she should be good at this. And she's been high 2 weeks in a row. So will this week be the week where she wins? Well, once we go by the original placements, no, it's not her week. It's Jaida's. Yes, Jaida wins this maxi challenge. But Raja is high, don't worry. Monét is safe, while the Vivienne yet again finds herself in the low placement. This time, not for being forgettable or just not as good as the rest, but for giving us too much of the same stuff on the runway. Yvie and Jinkx lip sync to Beyonce's Green Light, and if you hated me for eliminating Shea, oh, you're gonna hate me for this one. Yes, the production would have probably done anything and everything to save Jinkx here, but I'm giving the win in the lip sync to Yvie. Episode 4 starts with Yvie being visibly frustrated for the judges never appreciating her and her being in the bottom 2 weeks in a row. She needs to change her fortune this episode. Jaida is riding high after her win, and the Vivienne is defeated after basically 3 weeks of minimal positive feedback from the judges. This is the episode where they do the TikTok challenge. So let's go right into the placements. Monét originally was in the top 2 for this challenge, so now she's the winner. Yvie was the next best ranked queen, so she gets a high placement. Now, the Vivienne didn't really follow the guidelines for her video, being the only queen that had a segment after her dance, which probably Michelle will point out is not what the challenge was, so the Vivienne is in the bottom 2. Jaida and Raja both did pretty well when it came to their videos, but it wasn't anything special really. However, I can see the judges giving Raja a pass because of her age and for not going complete comedy with it. Kind of how Jaida went with it in places. So we have the Vivienne and Jaida in the bottom 2, lip-syncing to that monologue thing from Designing Women. Yeah, the Vivienne got lucky with this one, because I have a hard time seeing her beat Jaida in any lip-sync to a song, but to something like this, yeah. The Viv wins this one. Episode 5 starts, and Monét, Raja, the Vivienne, and Yvie are our top 4. Woo yay, top 4! This is the finale. Psych! Back in the workroom, we have Jaida, Jinkx, Shea, and Trinity waiting. What I didn't mention is that after each elimination, each one of the queens received a platinum plunger, which is fully gold, which is wild. And they have a chance to get back into the competition this week, while one of the top 4 will go home. Dun dun dun! The challenge for this week is the improv challenge, where, just like originally, we have 2 groups of 4, but now those groups are the eliminated queens and the top 4. The queen that does the best out of the eliminated bunch will be back in the competition. So let's first see what the top 4 does. Of course, the queens won't be playing the same characters as they did originally, but since this is improv, the queens that stood out originally most probably wouldn't have a problem standing out here too. Copying from the original placements, the Vivienne, who was gunning for winning this episode after 4 horrible weeks, I would say, does get her win. And it's a full, nice, cathartic moment for her. Yvie does well too, so she is high. Again, I know that Yvie was originally high because of the role that she played. I have no doubts in my mind that she would do well here as well. Thus, Monét and Raja are in the bottom 2, lip-syncing to Ava Max's Kings and Queens. I kind of doubt that Raja even knows this song, so you know who stays. What about the eliminated 4? Who is back in the competition? Well, basing this off the original placements, we need to welcome back Jinkx Monsoon into the top 4. She doesn't get a win here, by the way. She just wins her way back into the competition. Episode 6, thus, is the roast. Now, I wanted to put here the graduation speeches challenge, because we did get sincere moments from that challenge, and it's quite an original spin on the comedy monologue type of a challenge, but we're going to get those sincere moments in the finale, in episode 7, which is the next episode, so no need to oversaturate the season with it. The winner would have been the same regardless, by the way, with Jinkx winning this challenge here. We are in a bit of a pickle now, since the Viv and Monét were the high queens in the original roasts placements. Yvie is the obvious bottom 2 queen, but who is there with her? Well, in both comedy monologue challenges, the Viv was in that top 4, while Monét wasn't. So, copying off the original, and in order to make the top 3 more spicy, we're allowing Monét to eliminate Yvie. Oh, also, I just want to add that I would have made the eliminated 4 queens roast the top 4 queens as kind of a payback after they do their portion of the challenge. So we're at episode 7. The finale. I know someone might be mad at me for not making the Returning Queens episode, the one with the Write, Record, and Perform a Verse challenge, but we also need something to fill episode 7's runtime, and as per tradition, the last episode in most seasons is the Write, Record, and Perform a Verse in a Rue song challenge. I did not make the decision to favor a certain queen. Who do you think I am? A Drag Race producer? So, who are our top 3? We have Jinkx Monsoon, the winner of season 5 with the best track record, which is ironic given that she was eliminated in the season. Her track record is helped by her 2 mini challenge wins, without which her track record is only 3.25. Still above the other twos, though. Does her getting eliminated in episode 3 mean that she cannot win the crown? And then we have Monét Exchange, the winner of All Stars 4. Monét dominated the first 2/3 of the season, but landed in bottom 2 weeks in a row solely due to circumstance. Does her being in the bottom 2 more than once mean that she can't win the crown, while also having lost already another season? Lastly, we have the Vivienne, the winner of Drag Race UK, a queen that had a different track record to Monét's, given that she, while not being bad, simply wasn't one of the best during the first 4 episodes and thus kept placing low. But her luck changed in the last 2 episodes of the season. Does her weak start mean that she cannot win the crown? Essentially, in this top 3, we have a queen to represent one of each franchise's rude judges. The main franchise, the All-Stars, and the spin-offs. Jinkx has the best track record, but she was eliminated. Monét dominated the season but landed in the bottom 2 twice and had already lost the season, while the Vivienne has the worst track record but only was up for elimination once, and in this reality is the only one that was never eliminated on Drag Race. So who wins? You tell me. I wanted to make this video to show that Monét was the most versatile queen of All Stars 7, but that Jinkx was the most versatile queen when it comes to comedy. Guys, Jinkx is a comedic genius. Snatch game, improv, roasting, and a comedy monologue all require different skill sets. So you look very silly when you say that Jinkx only excels at comedy challenges. It would be like saying that Mariah Carey only excels at singing. Like, what? And the Vivienne is maybe the most underrated queen of the season. If anyone was robbed of top 2 or top 4 placements, it's her. Lastly, I also wanted to make this video to say that whoever wins tomorrow has something to offer as a winner, and they all have their strengths and their weaknesses. So please don't send hate to the winner if your favorite queen doesn't win. And that's it. That's the video. Yeah, I've kind of said everything I wanted to say with the message of this video. So again, who do you think would have won the season out of the top 3 we got at the end? Jinkx, Monét, or the Viv? Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and thank you for watching.